Lip service. What's up? It's Lip Service. And this is like our special holiday edition, and I'm really excited for this. And we'll get more into it. But I'm Angela Yee.
I'm L'Oreal.
And we have two special guests. Radha Blank and Eisa Davis are here.
Woo woo!
Now, you guys, you women are writers for She's Gotta Have It. And me and L'Oreal got into it over this show.
Uh-oh. Come on, spill it.
Well, no, first, I'm going to tell you why, because she was mad I watched the whole thing without her.
Yeah, so that was the first thing. That was the first thing. She was on episode 5, and I was just then putting it on. I'm like, you watched this whole thing?
Oh, my God.
She was like, no, because what happened was I had got the... I'm like, yeah, okay, Angela.
No, what really happened was we did have the interview, with the cast members, so I want to make sure I saw all of them. And if I wait for her, it just wasn't going to happen, but she really had an attitude.
I was mad.
About it, but I was so excited when I found out they were doing the series, because I remember the movie. Obviously, I had seen it so long ago, and I remember it being like kind of controversial and so different than what was out there at that time.
Right, right, yeah. It was ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, black woman, unapologetic, sorry, Belvedere, unapologetic about her sex life, having, 3 lovers and not, having any qualms about it. Mm-hmm. 30 years ago, I think, it was.
You think times are so different now? Like, is it, or do you think it's still kind of the same as far as how society judges you as a woman if you're sleeping with, more than one man, but you're single?
I mean, I think it's, the changing same, like we like to say,
Mm-hmm.
because I think there's more recognition that women should be equal to men. There shouldn't be that double standard. And at the same time, I think that there's still so much in terms of shaming, There's so much in terms of, people just saying like, oh, okay, well, she had that coming to her, she's a hoe. Like, if anything goes wrong, it's like, oh, well, she was with, this,
what
that,
was she wearing?
Right. Exactly.
What time were you coming home at night?
There's so much blame, and we see that. It's instantaneous. Right. You know what I mean?
Like, you see somebody like Rihanna, and we love her. And we actually love the fact of what she represents. Like, she's unapologetic about whatever she does. She makes these guys look crazy.
Right.
And she's just like, I don't give a shit.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. She's also Caribbean, and, women from the Caribbean, they don't apologize for showing their body. But there's always some scrutiny behind it, and so we're not quite there yet. Women still make what?
Yeah.
70 cents?
77.
To the men's dollar. And so I feel like across the board, there's so much further we have to go as women. But I think that in this day and time, the show still feels like it's a conversation piece, and I think that anytime we can give women permission to just do whatever the fuck they want, then we need to kind of support those kind of things. Because people, I don't know about you, Eisa, but people hit me up all the time since the show's come out, just saying like, I'm releasing my inner Nola. That's it. Summer 2018. I'm no longer apologizing for what I want to do. I don't know if they're all going to expose themselves as she did in the end, because there's a lot of questions about how realistic that is. But just this idea.
Would it be me?
Huh? You wouldn't do it?
I don't know. Listen, I would not. If I was dating more than one guy, they are not going to meet each other. I'll be horrified.
Well,
that's the thing. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I have a friend who calls himself polyamorous. I can't even say the word. See, polyamorous. He has several partners, and they all know about each other. And I think that they had an agreement from the very beginning because, when he brings each lover around his friends, he doesn't want the friends to feel like we have to perform or lie. And so there are people who, are actually making it work and they're in these relationships.
Only because he'd be like, oh, last week with Kim, and you sitting there like, damn, you was with Kim last week. Like, that's the only thing that I would feel like.
Your own jealousy.
Not even jealousy. It's just that if the friend, all right, for instance, you out with him and his friends, and his friend come over to him and say, like, yeah, when you and Kim last week and you sitting right there, you get what I'm saying? I'm supposed to just be okay with that? Like,
if you have an agreement.
But yeah, if you have an agreement. I mean, that's the whole thing, is that people have completely different love styles, love languages, love personalities. Some people are just, let me lock it down with this one person forever. Some people are like, let me lock it down just for show with this one person, but I'm going to have all these DL play things on the side, which to me, that's really what's messed up. The thing that Nola does that is so amazing is she's totally accountable. And that's what I think, people who are truly polyamorous, you have to say, like, this is what I'm up to. I'm with other people, and you have to be straight up about it. Not only, it's both psychological health, it's also physical health. Like, you need to know these things. And I think that's what's really great about, what Nola models, whether or not it's hard for people to get with, people to understand that you might actually be that open.
Right. That's
what about them meeting each other, though? I think it's one thing to be like, I'm dating other people.
Right. Well, I'll say this. I had one little spell of polyamory.
Okay.
Where I was like coming out of college and I was just kind of thinking to myself, I've never really tested the notion of monogamy. I just always assumed, I'm just going to be with this one person at a time. And then when I came out of college, I just thought, well, what if I tried, dating a few people at the same time and seeing what that's like? And I did, and the two of the people did know about the other person, like met each other.
Wow.
And I was just...
You set it up for them to meet each other, or it was a coincidence?
I was like, why don't you guys come over to my house? I like them both.
No.
Wow.
There were a whole bunch of people
See,
there.
that contains space, though. If I'd have done it, it'd have been at a park where there are witnesses, so that if something shit pop off,
you like to do it
I can
outside.
run in a different... Right, you know what I mean? Safe public space.
There were a lot of people there.
Okay, I thought it was just like a...
No.
Okay.
There were a lot of people there, and I can't say that, like... the person who I wasn't spending the night with was happy about it that night.
That's mad. Okay, and then
in fact, don't you have him on the line?
Right?
Isn't he on the line? He's calling right now, actually. Let's ask him.
I mean, the thing was though is that I tested it out. They knew it was not easy to deal with that feeling that they had about the other person. And then, after a couple of months of that, I was like, this is tiring.
Yeah, I
can't handle this. So now I know, and I'm good to go back.
Right.
To just
you did it.
Monogamous.
You got it out of your system.
Right. So now I know.
I think the thing with Nola's example, as I should say, is like, what I hear from a lot of my male friends is that they cheat or they take other lovers and keep it quiet because they don't think that the woman that they're seeing will understand it.
Right.
They never really ask us and give us a chance to respond.
Stick around.
Exactly. Now that's what I think maybe the reason they don't tell us is because we might actually be okay with it.
Right.
And then they'd have to think about us entertaining other lovers.
You might be like, well, you doing you, so
right, I'm gonna do me.
But I feel like give me a choice. Don't just put me in a situation where it's like I'm blindsided.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Please give me a choice.
Exactly.
Let me know. You have to let me know.
Exactly.
You think that for black women and white women is different? Like,
I think it might be different only because black women, not to get all deep, but black women in terms of like our sexuality and connection to a time when we didn't really own our bodies in this country, I do feel like there's just this added pressure often to, as a black woman, to perform in the light of good. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when we do something, I don't know that white women feel that it speaks for an entire race or an entire gender. You know what I mean? Okay. So I do think that might make it harder for us.
Yeah, I feel like we have different rules too. Like in college, I feel like, cause you know how they always say Becky is like, obviously that came from white girls giving head. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I know a lot of white women, cause I went to a predominantly white college, but they feel like, giving head is nothing. I feel like for us, it's a bigger deal in a way. Like guys would always prefer that you had sex with somebody than give them head.
When I was young, you gave head, you was a hoe. That was straight. She gave him head, she a hoe. Like,
damn, he didn't even fuck you. You just
that has changed. That has changed.
That's it. As soon as the dick hits the lip, hoe. Like,
that would be a great song. As soon as the dick hits the lip, hoe. Coming out 2018.
That's how it used to be. But
we could do like a black rap remake, but instead of whoa, it could be called hoe.
The bad bitch would tell she's a hoe.
Exactly. I mean, it's hard for me to generalize like that, though, because, because I feel like there are plenty. I think that being promiscuous, whether you're doing it on the low or doing it up above for everyone to see, that runs through every different race, every different.
Oh, I don't
what
believe
I'm
that.
saying?
No, because like you said, it seems to be for white women, the stereotype is that like there aren't as many qualms, you know, like giving head, sucking dick, or whatever. It's like it's just more of a social thing.
Right.
Whereas with black women, we saw it on that episode of Insecure where they were like kind of like, oh no, girl, I don't do. I have all of these parameters. We have to have a certain level of relationship for me to just give head. Right. You know what I mean? So I do think that within our community, we have different parameters around what we consider promiscuous.
I'm telling you, every guy you ask, like if you ask a black man, he'll be way more mad that you gave somebody head, sucked a dick, than if you had. I feel like
sex. I do think so too.
Yeah, cause
like, did you suck his dick? Especially if you sucked it good, girl. You better not have nothing to suck it. Don't admit to that shit if you did.
Where did he get it? Did he swallow it?
Yo, yeah, like no one.
Think about it. They had the tongue. She swallowed it. That was like
yes.
If you think about that, she was sucking the next nigga's dick. Remember that song?
Chicken head. It's all kind of dick sucking songs.
Yeah.
It's like a playlist.
I'm gonna do a playlist on Tidal for dick sucking songs.
And then
on Spotify.
And then there's like the other playlist, which is Downtown SWD.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now that sounds way prettier.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
Downtown is fun. You go downtown, you have
but remember when that song came out? It just, at the time, it seemed so salacious. Like, downtown. It compares to nothing that's coming out now. It's like, people talking about lips. Eat my coochie. Right. We thought that was racy back then. Downtown. You know what I mean?
She said downtown.
Lay Your Head on My Pillow was about him performing oral sex on her.
Was it?
Yep.
Raphael Sadiq.
Lay your head on my pillow and just relax.
What?
Call me.
That's
call
amazing.
me too, cause no, I'm joking.
What?
She said Raphael Sadiq called me. I said call me too.
Yeah. We'll be co-wives. Yeah, but it's like,
what is it called?
The things that were like racy back then, or even when Salt and Pepper did that song, Let's Talk About Sex, and everyone was just like blushing.
Like,
it's
oh my
like,
God, sex.
That's almost like a church song now.
Right.
I mean, it's so
It's like
tame.
a PSA.
Yeah.
You know what?
like
When I was
Franklin.
young, I used to be embarrassed when Color Me Bad, I Want to Sex You Up would come on in the car and I was with my parents. I'd be like, oh my God, why are they doing this to me right now?
Right.
But now,
Feel a little poke coming through.
Right. On you.
oh
my
And the harmonies
we
on
were just
that.
talking about that. Because you know, at the beginning of the song,
coming through.
you know the beginning, like the intro of that song, where he's like, I wonder if she could tell I'm hard right now. That's how the song starts.
I didn't know what they was talking about because when it came out, I was kind of young. So I was like,
Feel a
baby,
little poke?
I didn't know. I
Okay.
promise you, I was young.
But you know what the problem with that song was? That it was a little poke. I mean, nobody had a
That's
problem
what
with
I always
that.
say. I want to
I
feel a
feel a
big
little
poke.
poke. She should have said,
Pinito.
I feel a little poke coming through. I'm through. You know, she should have just walked
That's
away.
That's when you shimmy off to the next guy. Well, don't go dance with him.
Right. It's a little
Waste
poke.
of time.
They look like they got little pokes too. All three of them.
Look at you.
See, now you guys are little dick shaming, and that's not right either.
No, it's not right. It's not right.
But
it's
Mars has a little dick.
That's right.
That was. Let me tell you something. Because listen, so we're in the writing room. We create these things, and I actually think. I'm showing my ass now.
Okay.
It might have started as a joke.
I think it did.
I think it started as a joke. We knew that there was going to be a painting with one figure with three heads. And then I won't take credit for it, but somebody said, and the dick should start talking. And
Whoa, if these dicks could talk.
these dicks could talk, the touring show.
Help me, I'm burning.
But you know what I like about that moment is like, it sure is at the beacon. What I like about that moment is it's real. It's like everybody ain't slanging, you know what I mean? And I guess what he lacks in dick size, Mars makes up for in personality.
Right.
Absolutely.
He has a big personality.
He makes her laugh.
Good job, Mars. Where's the dick?
Now, do you think that you could find everything that you would want in just one person?
I don't know.
Have you ever?
Not from my experience. I think I think that that's really dangerous. It comes from like a whole Victorian notion of romance, you know, like that's when things started to flip. It used to be like, okay, I got my village of people, you know, I have my ceremonial husband or wife or partner or whatever. And then I got my whole family, I got my friends, you know, I got my priest,
right?
You know,
got the farmer,
right,
the
exactly.
dill,
and you just and you could turn to your whole community to fulfill all your needs. And then there got to be this pressure on having this one single person that satisfies everything. And I think
I'm sure religion helped to create that as well, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's very possible. I think that many people end up living that way, you know, where they are able to find all of the things that they need in a person. But I think that it's you shouldn't put that pressure on anyone else.
I agree. And one time when I was in therapy, because there's no shame in doing that these days.
This show is therapy.
Oh, exactly. When I was in therapy, I was seeing someone and talking about my relationship. Fabulous. Talking about my relationship in the therapy session and talking about how my partner, you know, just what my disappointments were. And I'll never forget her saying to me, like, you have to create a partner out of all of the people in your life. You know, like, look to get certain comforts from your female friends, get certain comforts from your platonic male friends, and get a certain comfort from your partner. And it really did alleviate a lot of pressure that I was putting on this one person to come through in all of these ways, you know. And so I feel like maybe for some people it would be multiple lovers, or maybe just taking the pressure off that one lover, fulfilling them and looking for guidance from their girlfriends and their, you know, coworkers, that kind of thing.
Because it's a recipe for disaster, really, you know, if you have all those expectations, because of course another person can't make you happy, right? It's just like, that's got to come from here, and then you share that with someone else.
Sure.
You know?
But I feel like it's cool that you said, like, put some of the pressure on your friends, like your girlfriend or whatever.
I'm tired of being your everything.
Oh, shut up. Girl, bye.
Oh, Gigi's here now, by the way.
Gigi's here.
Hi, Gigi. I made it.
But I do feel like that's a nice thing to say, other than being like, all right, just run to the next person. Because I'm not going to lie, I feel like I say I'm in a relationship, I want him to be able to lean on me for certain things instead of being like, well, let me go confide in this girl that I met the other day. Like, no, nigga, you better tell me anything you got a problem with. I don't care if it's your boss, if it's that. Like, I wouldn't want him to go to another woman and lean on her.
But what about his friends, his male friends?
See, that's okay.
So he can't have female friends?
I mean, not that he's like confiding in like that, no. Because then what am I here for?
But what if it's like a coworker and they're talking about their
work?
boss?
That's different.
What about a childhood friend that they've known since they were 6
Like,
years
you know,
old?
I have childhood friends.
I mean, like, to talk about something like work or something, but when it's something close to the heart, like, if you're talking about family or something, like, just stuff like that, I feel like you're not supposed to let everybody in your business like that. Like, if I'm talking about something to do with my family, it might only be one other person or two people that know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to just go confide in the person that I see at work every day that I think is nice looking.
But she said a childhood friend.
No, childhood friend. I mean, if they've been friends from childhood and they ain't fucked this long. Like,
what if they did fuck when they were younger, but it's been 20 years since?
20 years is a long time, but at the same time, like, you see his dick. Like, I don't know.
20 years ago, it might have been a different situation.
Wow.
Let's shrivel up.
Did his dick
Didn't
fall
have any hair
off and
on it.
grow again?
Didn't have any hair on it. The balls didn't drop yet.
Well, shit, unless he got a new dick. If he replaced the dick that he put in her.
You know what I realized though, because I also feel like your partner is gonna need somebody to talk about you with, because they got to do that.
They have to work it
You
out.
better talk to your mother.
But what I realized is, if you're friends with someone who is married, their partner knows all your business. Just
Oh, yeah,
accept
I know that.
Except that, but that was a revelation for me like a couple of years ago. I was like, wait a minute. Old girl's husband knows my business. I can tell, because when that person I was talking about walked in the room, he
looked at her like,
right. I was like, she told him. You know what I mean? That was a revelation.
You like, you okay? Everything all right?
You like, you need a drink. I saw James walked in. You need a drink, sis?
Don't worry about it.
There's like a difference between, you know, being emotionally unfaithful and just having like really good friends, you know, that where you need to work something out before you bring it back home. You know what I mean? Like I look for that. Like I want that kind of openness in a relationship.
I would want my boyfriend to have like a couple of female friends that he's cool with, because I want to, like, that I'm cool with too.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that.
I'm looking at Gigi like, Gigi, please say something that I just feel like that's a couple of female friends.
Yeah,
one of their head gonna end up on his lap.
That's not true. I think of all the guy friends.
My ex and all of his female friends.
I'm one of them.
How many of them did he fuck though? Like
Not
Angela, but other ones.
Oh, she was the exception? Oh my gosh.
I'm sure he has other females around that he didn't fuck.
I'm pretty sure.
But he has females around that he did fuck that he calls friends.
I'm pretty sure.
But you know that, but that's a perfect example. Like, you know that he would call me and talk about like stuff, and you didn't have a problem with it.
Call you and talk about me.
Yeah,
Let me
that's what I
assess
meant when I said stuff.
Let me assess your
You know
relationship.
what? The reason I think, at least I'm saying this on paper, right? I don't know if this is real. I haven't really tried it out. But the reason I think I like the idea of my partner having a good female friend is because we are different sometimes down the gender line, you know, and I feel like I've learned a lot about men and how they walk through the world from my male friends, like checking in with them and saying, am I crazy for X, Y, and Z? And they'd be like, girl, you are. You know what I mean? Like, if you did that to me, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it does come about our tribes around gender. And if there's a friend of mine who can enlighten me in terms of, yes, you want to approach the person as an individual, but we are conditioned based on gender sometimes. And my male friends can be like, oh, girl, I don't know.
He better have a sister. I know he got a mother.
But so you don't have guy friends if you're talking to somebody?
Like, when my last real relationship, most of my men friends was his friends. No.
But I'm talking about your own friends.
Yeah, I have my own friends, but they wasn't guys. And like,
you don't think that's a problem?
And my guy friends wasn't like that at all. And he knew them. Like, it was different. Like, they have relationships too. So that'd be something, but not just like a guy, like y'all said, a guy that I had sex with many years ago.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that now. I'm just saying a friend.
Oh, yeah, it definitely, I mean, yeah, like somebody that I knew, but he would know them.
Like, I need to know if I'm dating a guy that he can be friends with women without wanting to fuck them and have platonic relationships.
No, yeah,
because I
that's
think it's a problem if men don't have women friends. That means that anybody that they interact with that's a woman is somebody they fucking.
That's cool, but I don't want this woman to know all of my business.
Not all your business, but like,
if
what
he's confiding
if he's
in
like,
her?
what should I get her for Christmas?
That's different. If we talking about gifts for me, you could talk to anybody. What are you talking about?
What if you know, there's an issue within the relationship where they're bickering over whatever, and he brings it to the mutual female friend to get her insight on where he should go as far as, you know, the situation. Like,
see, my problem is not necessarily always the guy. It's mad grimy girls out here. Like, and I'm just being 100 though. Like, they're like, she's fucked up. You know what you need to do? You need to leave her.
And like, come over to my house.
You get what I'm saying?
Talk about it at 12 midnight.
Do that,
but trying to hook him up with one of their other friends.
You get what I'm saying? And
I've never had that experience.
I've seen it done so many times.
Tamika won't put you through these same.
You get what I'm saying? Now, you know I always told you to holler at my homegirl.
See, most times
asking about you.
Most times when I date a guy and he has women friends, I'm cool with them too. And like, if they go to her, he'll be like, you know what? I told such and such, she said I was wrong, so I'm calling you.
No, but some women are cool and you can, but there's a lot that's not. And that's what make me feel like I wouldn't want him to just be confiding about our relationship with another woman. Like, talk to me.
Yeah, like don't confide and be like, you know, Larry ass pussy was whack. What should I do?
My pussy would never be whack.
But,
no.
Today's episode of Lip Service is brought to you by showercap.com. Do you wash your hair every day? I didn't think so. Well, let me introduce you to Shower Cap. Redesigned for form and function, Shower Cap not only looks better, it works better. It's made from hydrophobic nanotech material that never gets moldy, and it dries instantly. Shower Cap is 100% waterproof and has a super soft, luxurious feel. Better yet, the cap was tested on all hair types and lengths, so you can be sure it will protect yours. I can't stand when I'm going to get in the shower and my shower cap is still a little bit damp from when I had a shower earlier in the day, because of course I shower twice a day. Now, if you want to get the best shower cap in the game, go to www.showercap.com showercap.com and use the code Angela for 10% off. That's SHHH, 3 H's, OWER cap.com. Shower Cap, because you actually need this. All right, now let me ask both Radha and Eisa, from your own personal standpoint in your own life, if you had to choose from one person from She's Gotta Have It, okay, that Nola Darling was dating, is it going to be Jamie, Greer, Mars, or Opal?
Mars.
You would pick Mars. Okay,
Wait,
Radha.
you mean that we would want to continue
In your
the
real
question?
life, who would you date?
Who would I date?
Mars.
If you had to
Out
pick
of
one.
all of them? Oh, wow.
It would be Mars for
Why
me.
is that?
Opal to me is a grown ass woman, and I appreciate that about her. But for me, laughter is so important. Like learning how to diffuse by laughter, and also Mars. When that thing went down with her graffiti, like he was
ready
so
to pop.
proactive.
Like,
He was ready to pop off, but he was so proactive about helping to solve her problem. So he had the humorous side, and then he had like a really. I feel like out of the 3 men, not so much Opal, but out of the 3 men, he wanted to possess her the least. You know,
It was
Opal
fucked up
seems
that
like
he
the
was
right.
dating her friend first, though.
Yeah, but he did ask the friend for money. He asked the friend for money for her, so I guess, that's over.
But that's still awkward, because it still come up in their friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Clarinda does bring up the G code, the girl code. Like,
Yeah.
you
I
kind of
like
forgot
that.
about that.
I like that y'all did that,
Yes.
because it seemed like the elephant in the room that nobody was going to say anything about. But then she came out and was like, well, that was my man. Like, what's up?
Do you think, but here's the thing though, do you think Clarinda really wanted to be with Mars, or she was more upset
That her friend did that to her. That was
Yeah.
Because Gigi, did you see She's Gotta Have It? Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
You got to Netflix and chill it up.
Maybe
I haven't had
they're
the
just
time.
like the opposites that attract, which is why,
Clarinda and Mars?
I don't know.
Nah,
I
they didn't.
I feel like Mars and Nola have a little opposite attract stuff going on.
Okay, I can see that.
She's not living with her sister in the projects.
No.
I mean, not that there's a judgment on that,
Right.
but he
Judge.
travels by bike. She does not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's an age difference.
He's goofy as fuck. Like, he's
really
fun,
is.
but low-key, he's really
He's
goofy.
immature a little bit.
I know
can't
the
see
thing
him.
where he takes his girl.
I can't see him with the one, I'm sorry, I forgot her name.
Clarinda.
So
I
I'm going
can't
to fill
see them
Gigi in,
together.
and for our listeners who maybe didn't see She's Gotta Have It yet, but I know you're all going to watch it now.
It's so good.
So, She's Gotta Have It, right? Nola Darling has 4 different lovers. 3 of them are men, 1 of them is a woman. They all know about each other, basically. And so they all have very extremely different personalities. So Mars is the one that's like fun, but he's probably the least established out of all of them. So,
Yeah.
He's the youngest.
but he's fun.
Youngest.
Yeah, I mean, and I felt this way in the original movie. I felt like Mars was the person I would want to kick it with. You know what I mean?
He put her panties on his
On his
head.
head.
Panty man.
Right.
So,
And
Issa, you
he's
say
like-
Mars also.
Well, no, I mean, this is the thing, is that I kind of wouldn't be with any of them. I would.
Oh.
I mean,
you have to pick one, though.
I know, I know. Well, this is a thing where you kind of see a little bit of evolution with this character through the series, and so Greer.
That's what I would have said.
So here's the thing
I
about
like
Greer.
Greer.
Because, I mean, what I would pick really is I was like, I just want Opal to be a man because I'm straight. But that's how
Opal
I
is
would.
the
Yeah, 'cause
best
she's
part.
the most
That's how I would
secure.
do it, because she's like just dope. But I feel like Greer actually he starts to shift. He starts to kind of soften
And see her.
you know?
Yeah.
And you can kind of feel that, maybe if the whole arrogance thing really is this act that he's been putting on all these years, and that, there's actually something that is really sweet and giving, and where they somehow can really connect in terms of the visuals with him being a photographer and her being a painter, and that they actually might have this real connection.
Like the artist thing.
You know what? It's funny. A lot of the feedback I see online, social media about Greer is people think that he's low key gay, and I was just like, really? Because
His outfit.
Because he's a metrosexual.
but he dresses like Prince,
Right,
And
yeah.
Prince loved himself some. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
You can say pussy here.
okay, pussy. It's just so funny to me that in 2017, 2018, like a guy folding his legs or being greased down or
crawling across the floor like a lion.
See, I feel like you can you said the laughter thing.
I know.
I feel like you can laugh at him because as soon as he would have got on all fours, I would have been like,
all right, now that brings me to my next thing. What's the corniest thing a guy has ever done in the bedroom with you? Gigi, we'll start with you.
Oh, that is
that
funny.
you was like, because Greer actually crawls across the floor and he's like, like
I got a lion in my pocket, baby.
and it's ready
And
to
it's
roar.
ready to roar.
And I thought that was so corny. I was like, if a guy did that to me, it might just like completely.
Dry
he's
up.
like, no man's gonna hit it how I'm about to hit it right now.
I don't know. Corny would probably be to just talk a whole bunch of game and not be able to back it up. I think that's corny to me.
Right.
Yeah, you should never talk a lot of shit. It just
guys have a problem with that. Like they, prior to getting with you, they tell you all these things they're gonna do to you and with you, and then crickets.
One and done.
Right.
Exactly.
So you're trying to say they should, what is it? Undersell and overdeliver?
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
They should try doing that.
But then you can't also undersell it because then you'll be like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. Like my dick is regular. You gotta go.
But just don't.
It's fun.
Go that hard with saying how great you are.
Yeah.
If really in our reality, you ain't really all that great.
Right.
I think too much conversation about the sex, like this is gonna be the best sex you've ever had. How about you just shut up? Shut up and put up.
Okay.
Because those are the corny moments to me when someone's like talking to me while you like it. Whose is this? And it's just like, you really want to know whose it is? It's mine. I own it. It's Jesus. You're like, what do you want me to say?
I'm gonna let you hold it.
Right. You're renting this for the hour. So it's yours temporarily in this moment. So the corny talking, I could do without. Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, I just had a flashback. I mean, when you're in a relationship for a while, it was like maybe the second year or something, and you're kind of looking for things to like spice it up, right? And I was laying on the bed, and then how did he just like come out of the hallway and into the bedroom butt naked?
Whoa.
With like a neon bow tie on.
Neon. Why do you have that?
I don't know.
From his job.
He thought that was like, I don't know, somehow it was going to just make me, just jump out of my panties.
So what'd you do?
I was just like, that looks really stupid.
I done died laughing.
Why are you doing this?
I'd have been like, hold on, I gotta take a picture for the gram.
Stay
right there.
I mean, I feel for him because he was trying, but no, it didn't
He
work.
tried it and he failed.
He made an effort.
It did the opposite for me.
So was that it for you?
No, we tried. But yeah, eventually it just was.
That was a sign, maybe.
Yeah, he's like family, but I think we never really had a full kind of sexual chemistry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bow tie will kill it every
Yeah,
time.
that shit fucked it up. Dry it up.
I dated this one guy, and he had, so the first time I went to his house, I had never been there before, and this is when I was in college, and it was like, we were home for the holidays, so I went to his house, and he had a waterbed.
Damn, I forgot about
Which I
those.
thought was mad crazy. I've never seen a waterbed before in my
Do they
life.
still make them now?
Listen,
That is
I don't know
very
why he had a waterbed. Like, I've never seen one. I didn't even know they existed. Right. And I
thought it would help.
can't swim.
Ready to ride this
But
wave,
anyway,
baby.
I had left, so I come into the bedroom and he had, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to say
No, you gotta finish.
Sorry.
You have to finish
Well, he
it.
had on a leopard, like, Speedo or something, underwear. And he was like laying on the waterbed.
It sounded like a movie. Like, Deuce Bigelow.
His body was like,
By the way,
waves.
why does nobody use waterbeds anymore?
Because they break.
It's fucking stupid.
It's probably a health
They get
hazard.
cold.
And it's probably mad bacteria in that shit. No, I don't want it.
I'm just wondering because
I forgot
But you
about
know what?
that.
Anybody out there
He
got a
probably
waterbed?
thought the waterbed was going to help, make you feel.
well,
you know
that
what I
shit was
mean?
squishing
Help out.
around.
Hold on, no, now I want to try that. I got to find a waterbed. I want to have sex on the waterbed.
I want to make love on a waterbed.
Yeah.
You're going to get some lettuce tonight, girl.
How was it?
And you got to just play some type of like ocean music or something.
But how was fucking on the waterbed?
I didn't fuck him on the waterbed. It was mad
Oh,
awkward.
because he had on a leopard speedo.
That's what really ruined it. It wasn't just I don't know where you even would get one from.
A speedo or a waterbed?
A waterbed, because it had to, like, a vintage, I don't know where you would even get that from.
Sleepy is not sell waterbeds.
It was like Playboy surplus.
Yes.
Here's another debate we had. Okay, Gigi, are you more the type of person who likes somebody more in the beginning and then it wears off, or don't like somebody so much but they really grow on you and then you fall in love?
I think I don't like them at first.
Thank you.
And then they grow on me and I eventually fall in love.
Persistence overcomes resistance, baby.
We've been arguing about this for years.
Really? There has been a few that I thought like, oh my God, he's amazing, and then womp.
Right.
But there's been more of, I guess. And then eventually like, oh,
I love him. And then he's like, bitch, get out of here. You didn't like me when
What about you, Radha?
I'm a Libra, so I fall in love like 20,000 times a day. And then somewhere around there goes, oh, you don't really like this person. This is not gonna fare well in the real world. But like, yeah, like in the very beginning, like I just, a laugh or something about them makes me go, who is this person? Right. I need to know them. I need to be around them. And then, the reality, I see like an ashy foot or a skid mark or something that makes me go,
leopard.
Did you just say a skid mark in his drawers?
yeah.
listen.
Where else would it be?
The toilet or something, maybe
driveway.
the carpet.
I've had that experience.
You saw skid marks in someone's underwear?
Yeah, it was just, I didn't really get a good look. I just glanced.
Was you being a cougar or was this a grown man?
This was like years ago, and
Or
I
maybe
guess
he was-
I was being a cougar.
Okay, see, I knew it.
He don't know how to wipe himself. He's too young.
Really quickly, Walmart sells waterbeds. And there's also,
no, they don't.
You looked it up. There's
sale?
also a place called Waterbed Outlet.
How much is it?
How much is it?
Are they
Walmart
having for the holidays?
$2,000
Wow, he was balling.
Jesus.
with free shipping.
I'm going to put alkaline water in my
I'm getting
shit.
a waterbed. Y'all think I'm playing?
It's like the whole wooden frame with the
Oh, it includes everything. It's a whole bedroom set.
Sparkling
The
box.
hotels would appreciate
Y'all
that.
keep playing with me. I'm getting a waterbed.
Okay, sorry.
And a leopard speedo.
It's probably good for your back.
No.
To be on the water.
Can you imagine just like how hard it is to get to sleep?
That rhythm is
The whole
right
time.
on.
Probably sleep so good on the
I would imagine
waterbed. You'd
having
be
a
like,
nonstop.
You going like this,
What
the
is
bed
it?
going like
Vertigo?
this.
Yeah.
Vertigo when you feel like you're moving and you're
Oh my God.
take me a Dramamine and go to sleep.
I have dreams about being on the Titanic or a slave ship. I don't know.
Slave ship, more like it nowadays.
All right, so Radha, you say you're more of a fall in love, but then
Like a lot in the beginning, and then I've had situations where I get to know I go through those stages,
but more
where
so.
it's a big emotion in the very beginning, and then it kind of changes into something else, But yeah.
What about you, Eisa?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I just fall like that. I mean, sometimes people like slowly creep up where I'm like, oh, let me check this person out. But, it's really only been one person that I was ever with where at first I was kind of like, you corny. And then, a couple of scotches later, I'm like, oh, I'm enjoying talking to you. And
You
then,
corny, but you fine.
A couple scotches later, anybody might
Make it look
get
good.
But no, I would say that I'm definitely, I see it right away. And also because I think I see right over people's shortcomings. I don't even notice them.
Wow.
It's deep. It's like, I think that really happened, like, with this one person actually who I didn't really like at first. I was just kind of like, okay, now if I'm liking you, then, I actually am finding that I'm not even annoyed with you ever. Like, I'm just kind of recognizing that certain things about you are just your personality, and it's not really something that, I should trip on.
Right.
So that's my problem, because obviously sometimes people just aren't right for you, and then you're not compatible, and then
In the beginning, you're blind to all that.
I think we know. They say when a relationship ends, it actually ended. Like, say a relationship was the length of 2 years, and it ends. They say the relationship ended a year ago, but you just haven't. You don't want to.
I think for women, that's more
lot
true than
of
for
stuff.
men. I think for women, we be out of a relationship before the man knows that we're out of it.
right. I told you I was done with this nigga, girl.
Because they don't know that they're messing up, and they think we're forgiving them, but we're really like mentally like, okay,
Right.
that's cool.
2 months later,
Put
come
that in the
home.
book.
Right.
Put this in the
Nothing.
book. Put
Everything
that
is
in the
gone.
book. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
And
do
then-
make mental notes.
And then by the time we're already kind of recuperated because we've been dealing with it and knowing it's about to happen and like going through it. So that by the time it's time to break up, you already done broke up and went through all the emotions. And then guys are just off guard. Like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. You know, that happened with my ex-boyfriend, the one that I was with for 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
I knew he did so much shit. I knew I was going to break up with him. I just wasn't ready to do it right away. But then by the time I was ready, it was a clean break, no going back. And he really thought we were going to work it out. And I'm like,
You Ben was over it.
But when you knew you wanted to break, you knew the relationship was over, but didn't break up with him. What caused you to stick around?
I didn't really know it. I did, but I didn't. Like, there's a lot of things that I felt like he was doing and he didn't stop doing them. And I just wasn't ready to break up with him yet. So, but emotionally, I was like kind of distancing myself until I was prepared. Cause it's like you could either break up with somebody and then like just be away from them, but still be not over it. But I was like kind of getting over it while I was still with him.
Oh wow.
That was a weird thing.
He had no clue.
Yeah, he thought, listen, he was chilling, thinking that like we were going to break up. And then, you know, when we did break up, he thought that I would like forgive him eventually. And I just never did. But that's because I went through it all for like months.
Yeah.
But don't you think men do that too? Where they'll be done with you and
they'll be messing with another woman
and then hanging in there.
And
I think men act like
when it's
assholes
over.
until you break up with them because they don't really want to break up with you.
They don't want to be that guy.
No. I'm telling you, they get another woman.
Instead of breaking up with you, they go out and find someone.
They'll get another woman, and when you break up is when you find out. When you find out about the woman and you so mad and you confront him, and you like, I'm gonna leave you. That's when y'all break up.
Right.
But he's not gonna just
He's
be like,
not gonna
hey,
come to you and
I'm
be like-
fucking this bitch over here. Like, no,
He's not going to
do
be
that.
like, it's not working, I don't want to be with you. He's just going to fuck up until you break up with him.
That's right.
I have a question for you all. About the concept of cheating. Like, I feel like a lot of women have kind of, when they go into relationships, they just have an expectation that a man is going to cheat.
She does.
Yeah, I think
and L'Oreal
majority
think
of
that.
men cheat. Like, majority.
I don't
I'm not
have
going to
that
say
expectation.
100%, but maybe like 98.
Because you took a poll.
0.9.
You went by like you had your
I did the poll, and what I came up with was 98.9.
I don't go in with that expectation.
I mean, I don't go into a relationship like, yes, I want him to cheat on me. It's
But you
not like
expect
that.
it.
Sure.
No, but I think when I go into a relationship, like, a lot of men cheat. I'm not saying, and I'm not okay with it at all. So, I try to be on my P's and Q's, you know what I mean?
Inspector
Like, you
Gadget.
can't have no female friends. You can't
Like, you
tell
can't-
nobody about nothing.
Because
Because
about me to your friends.
You know what's
They fuck
interesting?
majority of their friends.
We had Kevin Hart on, right? The Breakfast Club. And he talked a lot about...
Another unfaithful man.
And by the way, I didn't see that coming when that happened the way that it did with Kevin Hart. Only because, I did. I really didn't.
Because of his humorous persona.
Well, also because he went through so much before with his ex-wife. He didn't have to get married.
Right.
So I thought that he had just kind of like, gotten over it. But anyway, after the interview, the guys, Envy and Charlamagne were saying to me, they were like, why do women want to know why men cheat? We don't even know why we cheat.
It's in their nature. They can't help it.
But that's also like an excuse for them too, I feel like. It's like giving them an
Always.
excuse. Like, it's just, don't ask us why. We don't know why.
And
We're
it's
just
not even a
stupid.
reason. You're not even giving a reason. You just said, we don't know why.
I know someone who said, just to, Gigi, to your point, he was just, it was almost like he was like a 5%er, street knowledge. And he's like, men cheat cause our organs is on the outside, you know what I'm saying? And your organs is on the inside. And the outside organ is always seeking the inside, or, you know what I mean? Like,
Did you work for Wu-Tang too? No.
I do love the Wu. But that he was kind of like explaining in a way
God.
by nature. But I do think men cheat because some men, of course, generalizing here, Belvedere, some men do cheat, I think, because they are influenced by their social set. And they have friends who
much
make them
so.
feel like, really, you gonna lock it down with that girl? Just her?
Because they be having
You
a
could be
trash
out there?
girl, and then they see they man. It be facts though. Like, they be having a trash girl, and then they see they man all happy and in love with the perfect person that they wish they could be with. So now they like,
Now y'all sound like some bitter men, because men will
do that.
Because
though.
women,
Dudes
don't we
that.
do that too? Like, aren't you influenced by your friends also?
I never tell my friends like, oh, he's
not that you tell them, but I'm just saying, like, the girls that you hang out with, when your friends are single, it's like fun. It looks like more fun sometimes to you.
Yeah.
Than when, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it's that way with men too.
I mean,
when listen,
men are like that when their friend's not even single.
Yeah,
you
that's
get
what
what
I'm
saying.
saying.
Still like,
because men are married and not and they still are single.
They're still single.
They're like, come on, we going to the strip club. Like,
single.
She's married. I'm not
married.
Right. Oh, she's not letting you go to the strip club. She's crazy. Like,
oh, that's another good Netflix series for you. She's married. I'm not. What's that thing? That'd be a good series.
Singly married.
Single married man. SMM.
Single married man.
Single married man.
Married, no ring.
Oh, you know him. He's a single married man.
I feel like
sounds like majority of them.
I don't think this is necessarily a mature man, but I sometimes I wonder if men make choices based on what their friends think.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I'm just speaking from personal experience. I've always been like a thick girl and the funny girl. And
I thought you said a dick girl. I'm about to say
girl.
I've been a dick girl too.
Okay,
the whole
Dick girl stands up. Dick girls united. But I've been that girl who in high school a certain guy will like me, but because his social set expects him to date a certain type of girl, he won't. He might want to step to me in the cloak of night or what have you, because he's so influenced by the men in his life. And sometimes I wonder when I see men choose women, are they choosing them because they really want to be with that woman, or because the woman fits the image of what they
for their friends,
right? You know what I mean? Like that's not necessarily an evolved man or a very mature man, but I know a lot of men who do that. I mean,
you're right.
At our industry, a lot of times I think, you know, men pick women based on their image. And
these hoes be looking all the same. Just say it. Like ants.
Like ants. The ants.
Today's episode of Lip Service is also brought to you by Canvas People. Christmas is coming up, and that means family gatherings, seeing beloved friends, and another year of celebrating unique traditions. It's a time to make memories that you'll all cherish for years to come. So preserve those cherished memories with a special deal from CanvasPeople.com. Now, I actually bought my brother a CanvasPeople.com picture. What I did was I took an old picture from when me and him were little kids, and then I had it blown up from Canvas People, and then they actually restored it because I guess the quality wasn't like the best, but they made it look so good, and I love it. He's going to be so excited. So for those of you who don't know, CanvasPeople.com is an easy-to-use photo-to-canvas service. It takes your favorite photo memories and turns them into beautiful artwork. Instead of snapping that beautiful photo and you just let it rot on your cell phone or you just post it on the gram, you can bring it to life and put it on your walls. Or give it to someone you love as a great gift like I did for my brother. All canvases are of the highest quality and they're made here in the U.S. And let's be real, we all need some beautiful original artwork in our homes. Plus, everything ships fast and with great attention to detail. And with over 1 million happy customers served, you can buy with confidence. Normally, 11 by 14 canvases are priced at $69.99. Well, right now, as a limited time offer, you can get one free 11 by 14 canvas and just pay shipping. To get this amazing deal, just go to CanvasPeople.com and use offer code Angela in the cart at checkout. That's CANVAS people.com, promo code Angela. Do you feel like, for both of you, do you feel like men like you because of what you do sometimes too?
I would say so.
Groupie love.
I would say so.
They'd be like, oh, you know, she didn't wrote, and she wrote for Empire, and she wrote.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Spike? Oh, yeah. Let's go to a game.
Or just, you know, because I sing as well. So it's like, you know, feel like in some ways that actually is something I have to get around. Because if someone has what we call a talent crush on you,
talent crush,
then they might not actually be down for who you are as a person. You know, that's what I really love in at the end of She's Gotta Have It. You know, she comes out and she's got her head wrap on, she's got on her t-shirt, you know, she's not like dude up for these men when she first comes out. And I just love that she's just like, just take me as I am, you know, like I don't have to be flashy for you, I don't have to put on anything for you, you know, like this.
But that's part of that talent crush, is that artist, that shit look cool too. When she's like doing art in the house and she comes in, because you don't expect her to be done up. That's how you're supposed to look.
But also DeWanda Wise is like gorgeous.
Yeah, she is
so gorgeous.
She doesn't even need a drop of makeup.
Nothing.
And every time she smokes a joint, it makes me want to smoke too.
It triggers triggering. Okay.
Triggers that desire. But FYI, you smoke every day anyway, so I don't know what the difference
Don't blame
is.
it on you. Don't blame it on
She'll
Nola.
blame it on
I'm not gonna lie, like I quit. And then I saw Nola, and I was like, nah, I gotta roll up.
Right,
real
just
quick.
like the drinking. Like, today's your last day, right?
Yeah, no, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All right, I'm stepping out.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, Eisa Davis.
Bye.
Enjoy. Have a good time. I used to do stand-up comedy for a number of years.
Yes, you did.
And I had to...
He's like, girl, yes, you did.
And I had to, like, it's very flattering when men are like, very into you and stuff, and then you catch it. You go, oh, you just saw me perform. That's who you like. That's who you might be feeling, but. And I remember even when I was doing like a lot of theater and plays, all these fine ass actors be like, yeah, we should talk. Let's go out for tea. And I'm like, yeah, all right, good. And then after a while, you're like in the middle of what you think is a date. You're like, oh, he thinks like I'm going to put him in a play or get him a role, introduce him to Spike or whatever. Like, there are those people, which is why I think I tend to not date people in the arts or interested in the arts who aren't impressed, who can be supportive of you in what you want to do, but they're not like ask you all these questions about what you do. You know what I mean?
That's so annoying because when I leave work, I don't even really want to talk about work. She'll tell you, I do not feel like it. I don't feel like, and then it's so awkward if you're like dating somebody and they need a favor. Like, I wouldn't date somebody that needs favors from me.
Right.
No.
But I have a question. So if you don't date guys in the industry and stuff like that, or you try not to, where do you meet these guys that you do end up dating?
Girl,
So you single?
I'm very, very single.
She's like, girl, I'm looking for him.
I recently, I spend time between New York and Baltimore now, so that's a whole new gene pool that I've been kind of exploring. But it can be tough because a lot of times I feel like I don't tell people what I do because I just want them to meet me. Even when I lived in LA at one point, you go to parties and people are like, so what do you do? What do you do? And
That's all they say.
And I would just be like, I'm trying to figure things out. And if they walk away from me, then that's somebody I don't need to fuck with anyway.
Next time you gotta be like, I smack people that ask me what do I do. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, it's...
All right, now, ladies, have y'all ever been in a situation in a room where you saw more than one person you dated?
Yeah.
Like at a party, Gigi?
I have.
And how do
You like,
hey,
how you doing,
I
guys?
wasn't bothered by it. I just, okay.
you know what? I feel like it happened to me a lot more when I was younger.
Right, you'd be like, damn, I done fucked 4 people in here.
Because it'll be like, I'll be in a club, right? And it'll be like say, like when I lived in Miami, that's very small. Like, it's only but one club that night or whatever.
That everybody
so
goes to.
you'll see more than one person that you're dealing with. And me, I never dealt with those situations very well. At the end of the night, it was always somebody cursing me out on my text.
Like, how?
Yeah,
Do you ever judge yourself like, God damn, I can't believe I fucked 5 people in here?
That's a lot, Angela.
I'm probably older than you young ladies, a lot older. And I look back on those days with pride. I do. I go,
those days was fun.
Remember when you was in the club and it was like 4 motherfuckers up in that shit that you had. Like, you lived your life. You were living. So I have no shame about that now. Like, I look back like.
You be like, John, meet Jack, John.
Right.
Now, y'all got a lot in common.
You're
You guys have a lot.
You're sick.
You shared some of the same things. Mainly my body.
Yeah. See, now I go out and I'll be lucky if I find somebody in the club that I even think is attractive.
Right.
I'm like, I'll be sitting there like, oh my God, all these fucking lame.
But you're not going to really probably meet nobody in the club now.
No, not
Let's
that.
keep it real.
No, but back in the day, like when
that was.
I'm
that's
talking
what I
about
meant.
now. Back then,
That's what I'm saying. So where we gonna meet these? Like, where do you meet these guys? That's why I asked her that.
You know why else I think I'm single, honestly, is because I made this declaration that sometimes I'm like, why did you say this? It was like, I don't want to deal with anybody that I don't like, if that makes any sense. Like, like, I feel like we meet people all the time, but to really like someone, I'm not talking about being in love. I'm not talking about, like, necessarily, I want to fuck them, but, like, you just like them.
I like you as
being
a person.
around
Right.
you.
And I made that declaration, and I'm telling
I don't
you,
like nobody.
Yeah, you don't. Gigi, what about, are you still single?
Yes.
You're
Do
enjoying
you like anybody?
You're enjoying it
It's
though.
kind of boring, actually.
Are you bored?
You know why I'm bored? Because I'm not dating.
But
Remember
this
what I told
is
y'all when
Gigi.
we
This
were on
is
the Breakfast
Gigi's
Club?
fault, though. I'm gonna tell you why it's Gigi's fault.
Because I'm a hermit crab.
Yeah, I'll be like, Gigi, now mind you, I only go out for like work stuff. But some days, like, I might have like a day and Ange is out of town or, you know what I mean, Paris out of town. And I'm like, all right, Gigi, let's go, mingle with some fellas.
Yeah,
and she'll be
fellas.
like, well,
She's an old Jewish.
yeah, let's go hang out with some fellas, right? And Gigi's like, well, I just made mac and cheese and I got my onesie on. And
I might have to fart later. I don't know if I want to be around people.
She'll send me a picture with a wine glass.
I don't want to fart in my onesie.
I'm like, yo, my friends are boring. Like,
But don't you feel like, I'm not going to ask you your age, but I feel like that's when you really, like, to me, are grown, is when you can be home. And you have your Netflix and your little drink. And
see, I could do that, but don't sit here and talk about you bored. If I'm like, come on, let's go have
You're
drinks.
absolutely right.
Because you can't be like, well, I'm single, but I'm not really making no effort
I'm not
to.
going out.
Because, girl, I had so much
But
fun
you don't have to go to the
last night.
club.
You should have came with the night before last.
I wasn't there.
Oh, girl, I came in the house like 5 in the morning. I ain't did that since I was about
L'Oreal came in the house and I was leaving for work.
I walked in and it was just like,
But then she said, I'm
Fucked
not
up.
going out anymore. You text me that.
Wait,
I'm
y'all
not
live
going out.
I
together?
did.
One of those drink.
Well, she's
drunken
about to
nights.
get her
Yeah.
own place, but she's been staying. I got my house.
so I'll stay there.
Yeah, she's been living with me.
It's a reality show. in
Oh
the
my
making.
God,
It's not boring.
It's
It is
so
shit
funny.
going on.
Two boy chicks.
No, I'm not gonna lie. It used to be so much funner because I was crazier.
Fun is not a word.
Funner is definitely a word.
If conversate is
Okay,
Then
sex on the
funner.
first date. I just was talking to somebody who I just randomly, one of our interns was talking to me, and she was telling me how she met this guy and they had sex on the first date, and she's still with him to this day, and it's like 3 years later. I was like, that is amazing, because you always hear
the
like
stars were aligned.
you always.
You can have sex on the first night and still be together. Why is that so like mythical?
I know, but people always act like, oh, a guy's not gonna like you if that happens, and I've never believed that.
I don't either. And that's also on that premise of like, women, you should withhold your sex to keep him interested. But what if you want to have sex?
Thank you.
Like, why is it
No.
always about the men
What if you
and
got
trying
an
to
itch that
trick
need to
him
be scratched?
into like,
I'm gonna tell Steve Harvey you said that.
come on, Steve Harvey, you and your mustache, come for me. The three of us could fight. Do you remember this movie, Two Can Play That Game?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. That movie, there's so many jewels in that film.
I gotta watch that again.
And there's a moment in the film, and I was thinking about it when you were talking earlier, where she has an issue with Morris Chestnut's character. Vivica Fox has an issue with Morris Chestnut's character, and her girls are like, what? They all come up to her like, what girl? What? And she turns to the camera and she says, "Don't tell your girls what's going on.
Ooh.
Don't tell them all your business, because from this moment on, they're going to see him through that prism of like, he fucked up."
Facts.
And I was sitting there taking notes like, this movie really did some gems. And in that movie, they slept together on the first date.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Right.
I don't think there's a rule necessarily about
You know, when I saw that movie on 9/11, and I won't forget that because I was living in Jersey City, and I could see the smoke like above my apartment.
Oh my God.
And there was nothing to do. You couldn't go anywhere. So I went to the movie theater. I walked over there and I stayed, and I saw like 3 movies that day, and that was one of the movies that I saw.
Damn,
I
that's
always,
awesome.
when I see that movie, think about 9/11.
That's me and Glitter. I went to see Glitter.
You went to the movies to see Glitter?
I did.
That's
That was
dope.
my 9/11.
You probably like the only one person.
Yeah, it was like us and a gay couple. And
Sounds about right.
No, I'm probably going to leave soon.
Okay, no, we're good.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
I appreciate you so much for coming. I had a great time.
This was
Jeezy,
great.
you gotta watch.
I'm gonna watch. I've been wanting to
She's
watch it,
gotta
and I
have
was
it.
so excited that you guys were coming
Yeah.
because I love the movie for one, and I've been hearing so many good things about the series.
Awesome.
It's so good.
We're
I'm not
very
gonna lie.
progressive, you know what I mean?
I mean, people have had their criticisms.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because, I used to write for Empire and people criticize.
I was on a couple episodes.
Oh my
I know, girl.
I
Shout out
love
to Carlito.
Carlito Rodriguez. I actually wrote for season 2, the episode that Charlemagne was in.
Oh, the end.
10, right.
And then I did a voiceover for that one.
Right, exactly. It was like, and coming to the stage.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, why isn't Angela here in my episode? But, the criticism of the show is so funny because there are people who absolutely love the show, and then there are people who are just like, it's trash, don't watch it.
I think it's good.
But you anticipate that because the show is a polarizing type of show.
It's polarizing, but sometimes I wonder if like we're just much more we're harder on our shows than we are on other people's shows.
Oh,
like,
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's some people are like coming for us, like, how could you and why would you?
It's like, just support. Like, what the fuck is the problem?
If you want
nowadays?
more of us on the screen
Yeah.
and on the television sets, then you gotta support.
They still watching Friends. That's why you can't trust these
Now,
people.
Friends is still a good show, though.
But Friends been on for like 35 years, so
But it's harder for me to watch that show now.
It's
because
no
it's
black
like,
people
There's
in it.
not one.
Yeah,
And
there's
when
not.
they finally
Aisha,
did
what
it
was
was
her
like
name,
20 seasons later, and Gabrielle.
I thought it was the Aisha. What was her name?
Aisha Tyler was in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then Gabrielle.
See, there's
Union.
two.
Those are the
Yeah. Oh
But like
shit!
20
Because
seasons.
there's two black people in the world.
That's
That's the only thing, like, you know, and we'll support that stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
me, I try to watch everything, like
We know you watch every fucking
every
thing.
black, you know,
Yeah.
No, not even
actors
that. You
and-
watch everything though.
No, don't get it twisted. I will support, you know, other shows, but
I love Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, no,
'cause J.B.
that's
Smoove
my
is
shit.
on it. That's my shit. He's my favorite.
Hilarious.
That's my
He's
shit.
hilarious. But for the most part, there's been a lot of love for the show, and you know, it's an honor for me working with Spike Lee. I'm that Brooklyn kid
Right.
who. You know, when I found out Spike had offices on DeKalb, I was stalked by there like every day.
Yeah.
And it
trying to
worked
get a
out.
pinky toe, you know what I mean? And so to be working with him on this show about Brooklyn is like a big honor for me. But I'm a lot of us are moved by the reactions that people have, especially people from Brooklyn. Like, finally, like a Brooklyn show with Brooklyn black people in it. You know what I mean? So we're all really, really proud of the work.
it just feels good. It feels good, you know, to have like shows like Insecure.
Yes.
And people
She's
always
Gotta Have
compare the
It.
show to Insecure, and there's like no real
I don't think it's comparable.
But they do. They always.
All the
I don't
time.
know.
I would more so say that it gives us more, like, it's like progressive right now for black women, I feel, in television or films or whatever. I feel like now people are starting to see, like, you don't have to be this typical, you know, what they would think, the long hair, light skinned girl, like, you know, and it's not, cause I got natural hair, so well, not today.
It's under there.
Not today, boo. Now I got natural hair though,
Right.
but like, you know, I just think that's dope how we can like shine, you know what I mean, for a change.
And listen, the
Without-
whole point of lip
Yeah.
service, I feel like, is to show that women can talk about sex, and it don't have to be like so taboo. They act like it's such a big deal. People, oh, I can't believe this is trash. A bunch of hoes talk. Like, no, women have
We
sex.
talk about.
I'm sure you have sex with us.
every day.
Right.
Nowadays, you could get nutted on your face on HBO.
Right.
And be mad about it.
And let's be clear.
Be
Does
mad.
anybody? I didn't never understood why on Insecure she had a problem with him nutting on her face.
Cause y'all like it. Yeah, y'all like
Not a
that.
problem.
I mean, she should have taken it as a compliment. Like, you're doing something right.
She should have massaged it in her face.
It take me.
and let it dry.
Nah.
Get a facial.
It take a while for my
Gave you a facial.
Literally.
it takes a while for my twist outs to dry. So if you get a little bit of cum in my hair, like, that's where the problem is. Cause then I'm at that one dangly string.
Y'all didn't have a problem with. Y'all didn't have a problem with this. Something about Mary.
Cause she was a white girl and it was
Please
funny.
make a song called "Come in My." What is it? Did you have
Twist
a twist
Outs.
out? Come in my twist out.
Come in my
Could
twist
you
out.
please make that?
Come in my. We got 2 songs because the other song from earlier
Is
we
when
We got 3 songs.
when the
was
dick
it?
hits the lip. Oh.
It was also hoe instead of whoa.
Oh.
I can't wait until our mixtape comes out.
You
I
know,
really can't wait.
make sure y'all cop that first quarter.
Well, no, we really, really, really do appreciate you coming by. It's a big
This
deal
was a
for
good
us.
time. And thank you for having a platform so that we could like freely talk about.
I see you drink that drink,
I
girl.
did.
You said the drink was too strong. You lied.
Nope. In fact.
And you know what? I just want to say one last thing. Since we brought up Insecure, the guys at my job were so mad that Issa Rae on that show cheated on her boyfriend. And like, I'm like, y'all cheat every day, all the time. Why are you so mad? Like,
we're not
because they
supposed to do
condition
it.
like, I
but they
promise you
can't
this.
take
The
it.
guys will
Right.
be like, oh, she not a ride or die. He just had an issue and she not going to stand by her man. She's weak for not trying to make things work. And then she cheats on him. And mind you, I look at it like she cheated on him, but he was really messing. He was on the couch. He was supporting him, taking care of him.
Right. He wasn't even sleeping in the bed.
Right. And it was a little, whatever. And cheating is wrong, man or woman. But I feel like if a woman cheats, people look at it so differently.
Especially men.
You might as well stone her.
Cheating, with anything that goes on in relationships, it's always double standard with men. Men can go get away with this, that, and the third, but as soon as a woman does it, then it's like, oh, hell breaks.
Yeah, like Erykah Badu got 3 babies by 3 baby daddies. Like, and
3 rappers.
She's trying to populate the earth with all of hip hop. She
very
said it herself.
Beautiful, talented children.
Absolutely.
But nobody
she got
calls
good
her
choice.
nothing now.
They're all fine, and she has some beautiful children.
I don't feel like she got judged though.
She
in
the beginning.
No, she definitely commented on it and went in on people.
Whereas someone like Christy Brinkley, it's the same thing. A lot of people don't know that. She got 3 kids by 3 different.
Wait, okay, Billy Joel,
and 2 other people I don't know.
How about all these men we don't know that got all these baby mamas?
They wouldn't even call her a baby mama. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a different set of standards.
Didn't Shorty Lowe have like 20 baby moms?
Oh, R.I.P.
Bless the dead, but he did though, right?
he was trying to do a reality show about it.
Yeah, like,
But like no woman.
Remember when he tried to do the reality show and then they actually
boycotted it?
Yeah, they boycotted it.
Imagine a woman like me and my 20 baby daddies.
Right.
I would be watching it. I'm not even gonna lie.
I would be all into that show.
Gonna lie.
Who can we see with 20 baby
you know
daddies?
what? There's a show on TV now. I haven't seen it, but it's called The Cromarties.
Oh yeah,
And it's based on
Terica
that-
Antonio Cromartie.
Right, who has, with his wife, he has about 6 or 7 children.
And he, by the way, got a vasectomy and still had twins after that.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
See, I gotta go. And you get...
What? He did. Yes. Terica Antonio Cromartie.
Oh, I
You
know
know
them.
them?
Yeah.
But so with his wife, he has like 6 or 7 children.
This nigga got
but
some
he
hell of a
has,
sperm.
Like, stairs.
Yeah.
Like, he has a lot of kids out of
Super
it.
sperm.
And he got a reality show out of it. And I don't think he's being shamed. So, double standard. Ladies, this was so much fun.
Radha, you go out there. We need you to be the first woman to have like 20 baby daddies.
Yeah,
We're gonna do a show about
girl.
I'm on it. As soon as I step out the
gotta go.
store, somebody's gonna be pregnant.
Yeah, we like that.
First one after y'all.
We need you as the first interview after